Hi, I'm Tom, the Chief Marketing Officer at RapidMiner, and I'm going to show you a ridiculously easy way to build a predictive model and score data using RapidMiner Auto Model and Zapier. So we'll first build a model, and we'll do it using RapidMiner Auto Model, which is available both inside of RapidMiner Studio, but also available at automodel.rapidminer.com, so definitely check it out. It's free to use. I'm going to build a new predictive model using the Titanic dataset. It's a pretty well-known data set in the world of machine learning, and it will do the job for this simple demo. So we'll grab the Titanic data set, we'll upload it into Auto Model. We can get a quick preview of the data. So it's 1,300 rows, 14 columns, passenger class, survived, true, false, name, gender, age, fare, etc. A bunch of different fields. We're going to go ahead and set a prediction label, which will be survived. And we can see there's two classes, survived, false, survived, true. We'll focus on those who survived the Titanic, and we'll go next. What we see here is all the different columns in the data, and Auto Model has automatically identified some columns that aren't going to be helpful for the model we want to build. For example, it's pulled out the name column, which is basically an ID and not helpful. It's pulled out the ticket field for the same reason. It's high ID-ness. It's shown us that cabin and body have lots of missing values. So you can see there's lots of missing values over here, so let's remove those for us as well. It's pulled out the boat field, which of course is did you get on a lifeboat or not, which is highly correlated with what we're trying to predict. Of course, if you got on a lifeboat, you had a much higher likelihood of survivability, so that's not interesting. So I'm going to let Auto Model, I'm going to keep its recommendations, go next. I've got 4 models I'm going to try, pretty classic machine learning models. So let's go run the analysis, and let's see what we got. Since it's a pretty small data set, we should get results quickly, and in just a few seconds, we've built the 4 different models we selected in the last step. So here are the 4 models. They're all just about the same level of accuracy. I'm going to go look at the decision tree model. We get all the usual metrics back. We get accuracy. We can look at the ROC curve for this particular model and any of the models that were created. And of course, we can also view, in this case, the decision tree and sort of visually see that, of course, gender played a huge role in survivability, which we know from the Titanic movie, of course, and then after that, fare is an important factor, right? So, pretty much what we expect. What I really want to show here is once we've got a model, an Auto Model, it doesn't stop there. It's really easy to integrate this model with any other business application that you might have. You might have Salesforce. You might just want to score data in a spreadsheet, and that's what I'm going to show you now. And I'm going to do that using Zapier. So first, I'm going to create we're going to put this model into production through one click, and that one click is going to give me a URL that I can use to query this model. And when I query the model, it'll return back a prediction. So now that we've got this simple web service set up in one click, I'm going to go jump over into Zapier and show you how we can both query data from a Google spreadsheet and then score that data right back in the same spreadsheet. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and create a new Zap, and we're going to call it score auto model data, and we're going to use a trigger app of Google Sheets, and we're going to say when there's a new spreadsheet row, so each time we add a new piece of data to our spreadsheet, I want it to fire this process. So I've already got a spreadsheet set up. We'll just grab it. And that spreadsheet is Titanic data. And the worksheet is called data. So we'll grab those two. And it's going to pull some samples back from our data. And here's an example of the data in my spreadsheet, which is, matches the data that we have in the Titanic model. Gender, fare, etc. All right, let's go to the next step, which is to query the model and return a prediction. And we'll do that by using a webhook to do a post. So we're going to say Zapier, webhook by Zapier. And we're going to do custom request. And we're going to do an HTTP post. And we're going to grab the URL that we created earlier. We created this into a production web service. Paste the URL in over here. And the data itself we can grab from back from AutoModel. It gives us a example post data. So I'm going to use that example. I'm going to paste it in to Zapier, and I'm going to go ahead now and pull in, instead of the hard-coded data, I'm going to pull it in from the spreadsheet. So we'll grab P class, we'll grab gender, grab age, and so on. Arch, fair, and last but not least, embarked. So now when we send the post to the AutoModel model we created, it's going to pull in the data from our latest spreadsheet row. Last thing I've got to do is set the headers, and this is content type application / JSON, and that's it. So if we go test this now, we're going to send this data back off to AutoModel, and AutoModel is going to return back to us a prediction. In this case, the prediction survived is false. So unfortunately, given this set of data, this person would not have survived the accident based on the conclusions of our model. But working so far so good. So last thing I want to do, so here's the spreadsheet that we're working with. And what I want to do is every time I add a new row to this spreadsheet, I want it to update the value of this survived column. So I'll put in some new data, and then it'll go, when I put that new data in, it'll run this Zapier process, and it will then return back our score data, right? So to do that, we've already queried the data earlier, which we got here. Now I need to write the data back once we get a prediction. So to do that, I'm going to grab the Google Sheets action again. I'm going to use update spreadsheet row. Same configuration as before, so I'll grab the spreadsheet and I will grab the data. And we now need to search for the row we want to update. So I'm going to go in here, add a search step, which will let us search for the most recent row that we want to update back in the spreadsheet. So the last step here is going to be Titanic data, same spreadsheet. The lookup column we're going to use to find our latest matching row, we're just going to say, I'm going to grab the fair. The fair is kind of unique, so I'm going to look to match the fair to make sure we find the latest row. And I'm going to do it from the bottom up to make sure that we do get the latest row in our spreadsheet. So I'm going to say yes to that, and we should be good to go. In fact, if we go ahead and test it, it should find the latest row number. So you can even look at it here. There it is, perfect, row 11. See, we've got 11 rows, that worked. And then once we found the latest row, we'll go back over to update it. So I'm going to go back into here, and I'm going to say there's the row we want to create, and custom value for row ID, so we talked earlier, and I'm going to go all the way down here to the survived column, and I'm going to grab the survived prediction that we received back from AutoModel, hit continue, and now we can even go ahead and just test this right now, and we hit test, and it will have updated the prediction here back inside of AutoModel. So hit retest actually, so we can get the new data. And we should have, I think, a false prediction here at the bottom, and there we have a false prediction. So there we go. All right, so now we can wrap all of this up. So we've got I'm going to turn on our Zapier process, and we got our dashboard. So we've got a running process going on right now. So every time I add a new row into our spreadsheet, it should, I'm going to type in unknown here, and I'm going to change the fair to be 65 and the age to be 23. So it should just take a few seconds, and it's going to detect that we've got a new row that's been created, and it should update our prediction from being unknown to either true or false based on the results of the model. So there's a prediction. It's false for this row of data. And now we've seen end-to-end how we can create a predictive model using AutoModel, deploy the model, and then access the model in order to drive some scored data. And this is a really simple example, of course. We're just querying data from a Google Sheet, sending it to our model, and updating our sheet with a prediction. But this really could have been anything. It could have been updating a lead record in Salesforce. It could have been updating your help desk system with a churn prediction, whatever, right? The real point is to show that in just a few minutes, using RapidMiner AutoModel, our built-in deployment capabilities, and a tool like Zapier, we can very quickly build, deploy, and integrate a model with applications and whatever those applications happen to be, like we did here with a scored spreadsheet. So thanks for taking a look, and hope you found this useful.